man, now this is a way to end a volume. This is a way to end a volume. One Piece chapter 742 and the end of volume 74. Wow. Wow. So to have Usopp actually pull off his mission in a comical fashion, that was rewarding. That was rewarding. It looks like Sugar passed out and it looks like everybody's going to be returning back to normal. So awesome job. Because like when you saw those explosions and everything and you're like, oh shit, Usopp is actually putting in work. And you find out, my dude just got the shit beat out of him. But he came in clutch in the most comical way fashion. It's comical way fashion. Sugar pops that damn Tabasco ball in and Usopp belches, and I guess he belched and it popped back into her mouth or something because she opened up her mouth once. He started making those crazy expressions. That's gag humor. I love that. Don't get me wrong, I love that. But ending in like a comical fashion after the chapter we just got, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm in my feelings or something. I don't know. But man, Toy Soldier's backstory. Shit, man. Like that was a lot to unpack. And I mean that hit me in a few different ways, man. This is shit. I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. Like, you know, if you've ever been in love, like really in love, I'm not talking like, you know, you really feel for somebody or something. I'm talking if you've really been in love with somebody to where you get to the point where when you go to sleep, the last thing you're thinking about, you know where I'm coming from. So this is nuts, man. This is nuts. Like when Toy Soldier, I'm going to start in the most awkward place because this is the scene that hit me the most. When Toy Soldier is looking at his family, he has a tough choice. He can either stay with Scarlett and Rebecca, or he can go back to the king and try and help the king in the midst of all this chaos. Has a choice. I'm going to keep it real with you. I understand, you know, the king and everything did right by him and, you know, basically faked the Princess Scarlett's death so they could be married because at the end of the day, you know, you can't have somebody in line for the throne marry a murderer, especially somebody who is a gladiator, that level of stature. I get it. Bad optics. Really bad optics. But at the same time, you got a daughter. If that's me, I don't know if I could have made that choice, man. Like, the safety of my family comes before anything. That's just why I look at it. I don't know, man. Like I said, maybe I'm just thinking in a different way. Maybe I'm just thinking, you know, because, you know, that's just something that, you know, we've had, you know, talks with. You know, maybe that's something I'm just thinking in a different way. You know, like, when you're sitting there and you're talking and, you know, you're being asked, like, you know, what do you want, a boy or a girl? You know, when do you think you want to start a family? When you start thinking about a future with somebody, I don't know, it makes you look at things differently. And I'm reading Toy Soldier differently now than I probably would have read him a few years ago. I can confidently say that. Like, this has been like 2013, 14. I wasn't even be thinking like that. So that's interesting. That's interesting, man. You know, because, I mean, at the end of the day, the kid never asked to be brought here. It's your duty to take care of him. Now, you got a little girl, you got a wife, they come first. But I get it, too. Like, that sense of loyalty to the king and wanting to stop this now because running ain't living. Running ain't living. And so, returning the kingdom into what it should have been gives you opportunity to give your child a better life. I get that. But I don't know, man. Maybe it's just hindsight, knowing what happened with Dressrosa, but I think that was the wrong call. But my dude pulled a badass moment. He was so powerful. And I kept asking, like, how strong was this dude when he was alive? You get your answer. He was so fucking powerful that Doflamingo thought that he had a devil fruit and had him chained up in sea prison stone. And when he gets told, like, yeah, like, the old royal family's gonna be exterminated. I've already got people looking for your wife and daughter. They're gonna shoot them down. You got nothing else to live for? Serve me. I can use your power. My dude just snaps. Like, he goes into the most G shit ever. He's like, okay, my leg, fuck that shit. I don't need it. He sacrifices his leg, and he goes right for the kill for Doflamingo. And it just goes back to the whole thing. When somebody's cornered, you don't want to see them pissed off. When they feel like they have nothing else to lose. Because that's exactly where his head was. Like, because Doflamingo said, I have people going for your wife and daughter now. So in his head, they're dead. In his head, they're dead. Or they're about to be dead. He's got nothing else to live for. He's like, fuck it. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to get the king. And if my wife and daughter are dead, God help whoever I'm about to go to. And as he's charging forward, Doflamingo has that, oh shit look. And if Sugar would have acted a moment too soon, I think he could have got his ass. That's why he feels as confident as he does that he can take down Doflamingo. But, trade-off is because he lost his leg before he became a toy. He's only going to have one leg. But, oh shit, this dude, I can't wait to see him get his body back. That's going to be interesting. Now, I got to say this, too. I got to say this, man. So, the whole thing with how they fell in love and everything, that shit was cold. That shit was cold. What happened to Scarlett and Kyros. Like, that was cold. That was cold. Like, don't be wrong. It's cliche as fuck. And it's a typical shonen move with, in particular, when you get the writers who... I call him the school of Toriyama. Toriyama's so bad at doing romance. All this shit happened on screen. That's kind of what happened here. You got a little bit of teasing, but most of it happened off panel. But where Oda succeeds, like Kishimoto couldn't do this shit, Kubo couldn't do it. Where Oda succeeded was he just gave us a small snapshot of, oh, well, she's sitting on the, or somebody's sitting on the swing, and all of a sudden now they're sitting together and they're in the little flower field and everything, and umbrellas there. That's enough. That's enough. Like the whole damsel in distress thing, I didn't really care for that. But I do like the fact that, she's standing up to him. She's got that spunk to her. Kind of looks like Nami a little bit, just sitting there looking all sexy and everything. I understand, man. Draw like Nami. I see what you did there, Oda. Nami's a princess. Just gotta throw that out there for you guys, just in case you forgot, because she your host, you look like Nami a little bit, Everywhere I look, I see Nami, baby. Let me quit, man, because this ain't even the video to be trolling like that. But now, like on the real though, like when she gets kidnapped by the pirates, my dude's on some straight savage shit, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, princess. I know I'm not supposed to touch you." And her whole demeanor changes, and I completely understand it, because I mean, like if you really love somebody, you'll do shit that isn't in character for you. Like, I'm a selfish son of a bitch, but I make time for people I love. Like, I'm a very selfish son of a bitch. I'll just say it for what it is. I'm very selfish, but at the same time, like, I'll do shit that I never thought I would do for somebody I love. Like, I can go see a play all day. I set my ass down at the fucking opera. I can't sit through a fucking, I can't sit through that shit. I can't sit through a fucking ballet shit. That shit is boring to me, but I did it. Now, you do shit for people that you love. It's your way of showing that you care for them. And, in this case, Scarlett's making food. She's making goo-goo eyes at him. She's being compassionate to him. Like, little small shit, man. Those were very nice touches. Those are very nice touches. Oda had to cram a lot of time into that. And what I mean by he had to cram a lot of time is he's covering a pretty large period of time, but he's putting it into a few panels. So you have to have a lot of detail. And what was really, really interesting is, like, after they get married, Just the symbolism in that. You know, he's like, yeah, you know, I never thought that, you know, I would betray you by, or you trust me so much that you allow me to betray you. I married your daughter. You know, we know that's a bad look. And he's like, look, if it was anybody else, I wouldn't even allow that shit to happen. No worries, man. No worries. Just take care of my little girl. That's huge. And then when my dude has a child, he's so ashamed of what he was in the past. He doesn't even want to sully his child because he's got the hands of a murderer. And so he puts on gloves when he holds her and he's crying. And I get it, man. I get it. I totally get it. You know, because a kid is all the good stuff and all the bad stuff with you. But when a kid's first born, all you see is all the good things. So I totally get it, man. I totally get it. It's just so beautiful, man. And it just makes you appreciate. It makes you totally appreciate where his relationship with Rebecca is now. It totally makes you appreciate it. And like when Rebecca finds out that the guy from Blackbeard's crew was actually the one who killed her mother, that just adds more to it. That just adds more to the payoff, man. This is being set up for a hell of a finish. A hell of a finish. I could see this arc going probably another 2 to 3 volumes. I'm on 74. I can see it ending at 77. Let's see it ending at 77. Oda can wrap this up in 20 chapters. I think it's about time at this point. I think it's about time to wrap this up. I think like the next volume is, you know, what's going to be happening with the Straw Hats and their stuff wrapping up. Maybe Thunder Soldier getting his rematch. And then the next volume's got to be Luffy. Luffy and Doflamingo. Because you still got to go into Doflamingo's backstory a little bit. You know, you got to explain why he left the Celestial Dragons. You got to wrap up the stuff with, Sabo in the arena. That's what I said, 2 to 3. So we're 76, maybe 77. Maybe 77. I mean, but, you know, let me know what you guys think about that backstory, man. And what in particular did you think about him being so ashamed to hold his daughter because of everything he'd done in the past? Do you think, at what point do you think that a man has redeemed himself of his past? Does his past always define him, or do his actions of today define him? That's my question. That's my chapter question. That's a good one, man. I might have to write that shit in the comments, man. I like that one. Does a man's past always define him, or should he be allowed to redeem himself, or does he redeem himself with his current actions? Which one's more important? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching all the way into the end. Have an awesome day, guys.